What's going on, y'all? What is going on? Thank you for choosing once again to click on the channel. This is OYAOY. I am simply here to do my job. Get the messages to the collective. How is everybody? How are you guys? I hope everybody's doing good. Thank you, everybody that's been liking, sharing, subscribing, supporting the channel. Welcome all new subscribers. So I just had some quick messages for you guys. I hope everybody's staying positive. You turning your negatives into positive. A lot of people are going through different things. One thing I realized, you guys, let God's will and way be done only. Okay? If you are seeing people running around frantic, losing different opportunities, could be dealing with things with their children, their finances, you are seeing that if this stuff is turning back around, you guys, you don't know what some people were involved in. Okay, and especially me, I've also been one of those people that's always wanted to, be there for somebody else, or just love people, show some type of compassion and support. But I had to learn to pray that God's will and way be done only. Okay, and the perfect example I have for you guys is, if you are new to the channel, I'm not sure, you can check out some of the other videos, but I was actually placed inside of jail for fraudulent charges after my door was kicked in by people I had an EPO out on. And, after dealing with seeing certain family and friends and all these people that had teamed up to basically stop what God had already moved and started to make happen in my life, I was inside of the jail, right? And of course, I started getting more in tune with my gifts, fasting and stuff, because I wasn't going to eat that shit. I wasn't going to eat the food. Sometimes I did eat, sometimes I didn't. We all know if you've been inside of that place, shit, there will be cans of dog food that you would rather eat than some of the stuff that they will serve you inside of a jail cell. So it was one particular time, right? I had started doing readings for all the girls, and we were praying and doing little different things. Um, and there was somebody that had came in that had OD'd off. I believe it was a lot of meth and fentanyl overdoses that were going on in my city and state. So I had started picking up on it, and I didn't even know what fentanyl was. And I was reading to some of the girls, I was like, stay out of Walmart. These were some of the main messages. So maybe in your certain timeline or whatever you're dealing with, you could be just now relating to some of the messages that I have. But one of the messages were stay out of Walmart, a lot about fentanyl, overdoses, fake drugs, planet drugs, CPS, fraudulent CPS cases. I was picking up on a lot of things that were going on around me and that I was also dealing with. So this girl comes in, right, and she was like OD. Like all the girls were starting to come in, were what do they call it when you basically, they was going through withdrawal, passing out, sweating, taking their clothes off, running around naked, just basically losing their mind, right? So this particular time, this girl had came in, and she was passed out and, moaning in pain and stuff. And of course, a lot of the COs, the people that were in charge, they so used to seeing things like this that they don't have the certain compassion that a lot of them need to even do these positions. I also noticed that a lot of the COs were men. Okay, so not only were the men walking in the dorms with the girls naked or having to, check the dorms and all this stuff, but that has nothing to do with it. But this particular time, the chick, she was like passed out, sweating and shit. So we was like, get in the shower. We was trying to get it together, because one thing that I realized that's important is when a group of females come together, and they all are secure in who they are and what they're supposed to be doing. There is a sisterhood that's bonded, okay? And I have noticed that in some of my hardest times, not only were some of the women I bonded with complete strangers, but they were also of a different race. So, it didn't matter. But this girl was Caucasian. She was a white girl. She was a white chick. So she's in her, throwing up, vomiting, and all this stuff. So out of nowhere, this girl falls completely out the shower. So we all panicking, trying to get somebody to come in or whatever. So, everybody huddled together to get her dressed, to get her washed, and, laid down in her dorm. And like, this girl started convulsing, like, shaking and shit. It was almost like she was having some type of seizure. And I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, come on, y'all. This is like my first week and a half in, y'all. And I'm like, I'm already inside of this situation, not knowing where it was going to lead me, not receiving the help, because, as soon as you get in there, you on that kiosk, like, this is some bullshit. Whatever landed me here, it wasn't right. It was fraudulent, but they're not going to hear that. They have actually come across this story so much that people have been thrown in jail for no apparent reason. And when I started putting everything to the spiritual aspect, I was like, God is moving me out the way. I know I'm innocent. God knows I'm innocent. But for some reason, I was placed inside of this particular jail, which was in Indiana. Okay. And we all know, some people know, Indiana is racist as fuck. So is Kentucky, Tennessee, all these different places in the South have always been racist. I don't care who anybody is, what background they come from. If you are a woman or a man of color, you have experienced some form of racism unless you was just kept away from it, okay? And, I gathered the girls up and I'm like, come on, y'all, we getting ready to pray for her. She's not getting ready to die on our watch. We can do something to help. So me and all the girls got together and we started, praying. Of course, me being the leader of the prayer, it was up to me to lead the prayer, to also, pray with my heart, pray with conviction, and who I pray to, which is the Most High. I know that anything that I ask for could be delivered. So I'm like, please, get this girl clean. Give her a chance. Don't kill her. I mean, this girl was literally no pulse, no anything, laying in this room, and we prayed, right? So out of nowhere, we get through the night, and it wasn't even like 20 minutes. This is how I know I'm so grateful. God is amazing, God. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, I'm reading or something, and one of the girls is like, come here, come here. She's up. And I'm like, yes, you know what I'm saying? No. You guys, when I tell you I had saved an actual demon, okay? So before everybody gets all crazy, you be like, oh, once I prayed for this particular person, okay, I had to realize, after whatever substance abuse or whatever she had did that placed her in this situation of dying off or whatever, having a rebirth, she was actually either taken over or something was allowed to come back as her in her body. When I tell you, soon as this girl woke up, she was coming for me on a daily. Whether it was, her picking about certain things or her trying to get closer to me to figure out, who I was, the certain gifts I had, and I say this to say, be careful of who you praying for, especially during this time. A lot of us, we do have the power of prayer. You can speak life or death with your mouth, okay? And I have done this several times where I have prayed for enemies, or I have prayed for demons, or I have prayed for people that God did not want me to pray for. Maybe God wanted me to go to God with basically a presentation of why I felt a person needed some type of mercy, or why I felt a person needed some type of prayer. But you never put your stamp. Your spiritual stamp is clearly for you, okay? You always want to make sure that you are praying the right prayer. And this is why, because certain people will pray things over you, okay? And also, you could be praying for people that God has already judged and is getting ready to put that hammer down on. And I feel like once I prayed for this girl, she was able to not only be resuscitated with a different spirit coming up out of her, but she was literally every day, you guys, whether she was picking or trying to get me to fight, or stealing certain things, or trying to get me to eat certain foods. Like, this is what you have to watch, praying for certain people, okay? So this message could be for you right now. Be mindful of who you praying for. Okay, a lot of us, we have good hearts, we care and all that, But if you're seeing somebody going through some type of commotion right now, know that God is doing things in their life. So it's up for them to either start crying out to God and asking for some type of help, repenting or anything. But judgment has been called, okay? So you don't want to put yourself in the middle of somebody else's karma or in the middle of somebody else's judgment from God, okay? We know that you have a pure heart. We know that you light as a feather, but these people also know too. This is why certain people may target you, because you are a soft target. Okay, not only can you be a soft target because of your pure heart, or because of some type of alcohol or addiction or something that you may have that this person knows is a vulnerable spot to you to get to you spiritually. um some of these people know that you are meant to take off during this time, so you want to be mindful. Watch who you praying for. Okay, even if you got a pure heart, just know you could be a soft target. Okay, don't be a soft target to somebody. These people have already, basically put they self, change their Akashic records, alter their DNA. If you are working with lower entities and spirits, you are no longer the same. Okay, so some of these people are catching what they've been throwing, and it's not coming how you received it. Okay, you may have actually survived some of the attacks, but they're not going to be able to survive the same attacks because they're not built like you are. Okay, so I also got that right now, whoever's been doing a lot of blood rituals, they are getting ready to have to deal with different things, even purgatory, going to jail. We know a lot of people have been talking about jail. And to me, I don't care if it's mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially. A lot of these people are already in bondage because what they tried to do didn't work. Okay, so right now you want to just focus on what bonds you have with certain people. Okay, somebody could also be getting a car washed or detailing a car that has something to do with something here, and somebody's being told to move away from certain dating apps. Okay, so you're never alone. A lot of people have realized that the spiritual journey is a road less traveled, and a lot of people are alone on that journey, but you're never alone. Okay, you have a spiritual team that's ready, and they're preventing a lot of disasters from happening. And this is why you want to always stay in prayer, pay homage, recharge, and keep going. Okay, reclaim your energy, your name, your destiny, your life. I love you guys. That was just a quick message. I will be back soon.